My name is Dr. Dike Drummond. I'm a family practice doctor and the CEO and founder of thehappymd.com, where 100% of my professional focus is on the treatment and prevention of burnout in physicians and also physician leadership development for those who've taken on executive positions. By training and by experience, I'm two things: a family practice doctor and a coach. So what I'm interested in fundamentally is producing a transformation. As a family practice doc, I want to help people who are sick become well. As a coach, I want to help people that are struggling and suffering change their behavior so that they get different results in their life. My experience is that there's a lot of academic activity around prevalence. The prevalence of burnout, since they started measuring it 20 years ago, is about 1 in 3 on average. That's a quote from Dr. Tate Shannonfeld in JAMA a couple of years ago. Nobody needs to do prevalence studies anymore. We know the answer is going to be 1 in 3. The question is, what do you do about it? So what I've done is dedicated the last 3 years of my life and approaching 2,000 hours worth of one-on-one coaching with doctors to finding things that work in the real world.
With a quick show of hands, how many of you have ever had a day or a week at work where you ended up so fried that in a quiet moment you might have said to yourself, "I'm not sure how much longer I can go on like this"? Good, I'm in the right place. And how many of you would like some tools to make sure that happens only very rarely to build your ideal practice and a more balanced life? How many? Yes? Am I in the right place? How many of you have something other than this you could be doing right now? Come on, let's be real. You've got my promise that in this next hour or so, you're going to learn about some things that you don't know, and it's going to be really worth your while.
It's important to differentiate too what I do, which is not a lecture, from the standard medical lecture. So my job is to create an interactive environment where people learn and everybody leaves with an action plan to change the things they're doing when they get back home to get the different results that they're seeing.
You can't solve them there. You must pull yourself out of your practice so that you can work on it rather than in it if you're ever going to improve anything. So you have to develop yourself a habit, and lots of times it's on weekends. You pull out that ideal practice description, you update it, you ask yourself the question, what's the master plan? What's this week's action? If you say, "I'm too busy to do that," you're in Einstein's insanity trap and you'll never get out.
Oftentimes I find that doctors who are burned out, or executives or physician leaders who are having trouble with their leadership skills, it's because they're doing the same thing over and over and expecting a different result. So I show them different things they can do to get different results.
Turn to the people next to you and just look at them, square up with them and go, "No." So what I recommend is that you actually sit in front of a mirror and you practice until you have a phrase that rolls off the tongue comfortably, right? And if there's someone in your life, in your practice, who's always the one who comes and asks you to take extra shifts, you know the one, right? How many of you have a one? Yeah? Have your spouse play the one. And you're not done until they play the one and they say, "Yeah, you nailed it. He's not going to make you take another call shift again." Now, again, you might say yes to their request, and here's why this will drive your discipline. You'll see immediately who you need to apologize to right now, right? And reschedule, right? Little power tip, scheduled spontaneity. I encourage you to put some scheduled spontaneity in this life hack calendar. What does that mean? Block off an hour at some point in the week and defend it with your life. But don't decide what to do in that hour until it's that time. And then you have scheduled a place where you can be spontaneous. And maybe it's just a nap.
Most professional speakers will come to town and give you an hour canned talk. They'll come in right before the talk and they'll leave right after, and they'll make no attempt to customize it for your people. That's absolutely not what I'm interested in. I know that everybody in your town needs the information about burnout prevention that I can provide. So I want you to use me up for an entire day when I come to town. So a common speaking structure for me is to come to town the night before and deliver in the morning, at lunch, and in the evening to 3 different audience audiences in your organization over the course of that training day. You've got me for a whole day, and I promise you we'll have several phone calls ahead of the training day to make sure that we customize the information for the specific issues that your people are having to deal with at this point. If you're looking for more information about how we can together collaborate to create a transformational, interactive training for your entire organization, give us a call today. Either work with us through phone or email or the contact form that you see on this page, and let's get started. My training calendar books up pretty quickly, and I'm probably 3 months out right now, so the sooner that we can get together and start talking, the quicker we can customize the training for you and your people.